Welcome back guys. Today we're gonna learn how to utilize loops in LabVIEW. So loops makes a piece of code to iterate any number of times that gives accordingly. As like any other programming languages, we have while loop, for loop, case, if loop, any other loops in LabVIEW also. For utilizing them, let's get started. Now in block diagram, just right click and you will be getting structures. Here you will be having many loops. You can see that is for loop, while loop, case structure, event structure, and all these things. So in this we will just see few things for now because the other high level programming, so that will be explained to you in the further programming. To just put it up here, and I'll just go for while loop. So just clicking on while loop, you will be getting a cursor like this, and just drag your cursor by clicking your left button, and you will be having this type of box here, and this will be making you a while loop. And for utilizing this while loop, we need inputs and outputs to this. Then what this while loop will be doing? This while loop will be making the entire programming inside it for n number of times. That means how many number of times that will be into the loop for infinite times until and unless you give stop command here. That means you have to give some input to this one. So for that, what I do is I can give constant, I can give controls. Constant will be like true or false. I can just give any true condition or false condition for any once, and it will be continuous. If I give true, it will be continuously running for me until and unless I just stop the VI manual. So what I do is I just go and give control to this one, and here button control here. So what, just increase the size of this one, you can see. So stating that it is stop. I don't want any label, so I just remove it. So here this is a boolean, so you can see here this is true and false. This can give you only true and false. So always when you give true, then the execution will be stopped. If it is false, then the execution will be run. And what inputs we can give into this? You can give any VI, whatever you have done earlier in my previous videos. You can see whatever the things you have, you can give. Then what the specialty is there in this? So the specialty is that you just I just show you what we can do with this. I just take a numeric add. I just give some inputs to this one, a control, another control, and indicate. Well, I got these things. So this one is input of 1, this is input 2, and this is out. So when I go on clicking on continuously run here, but what I do is I just click on run here. So you can see that my VI is working continuously. Obviously I have not clicked on this run continuously button. So if you change the values here, you can see that VI is live now by clicking only run. That means this loop is making us into a continuous run mode. So to stop this VI, we have two options here. You can click on this button, or else you can click on this button, and clicking on this button will stop the entire VI here, and this is also the same. Just I'll click on this will stop you. But if you click on run continuously, if you just go for run continuously, you can't utilize this stop button, because run continuously made an continuous loop here. That means another while loop around this one, which will be stopped using only this button. Okay, just I'll stop this one, and this is what about. So you can use this while loop, and you can have some conditions. You can have booleans, you can have boolean conditions, and you can create a boolean condition here, and if the execution has been finished, then boolean condition can be given to this stop button. Now we'll end up with this while loop, and we'll go for loop and just remove the while loop from here. So obviously for loop is something so called as continuously working on a loop for a permitted number of times, or a user required number of times. So for that, I just take my for loop from here. I just draw on it, and you can see some errors are there. So for every loop, there will be a condition behind that loop. So for while loop, we had a boolean stop button, and for loop, we need to give the iteration number, or how many times it has to be into the loop, that value to be given to this end condition. And for that, I just create a constant. You can create a constant or control, that depends on you. And I just create a control here, and I had a control here. If at all you want to give a constant, you can give constant also, no, not at all an issue for that. And also you can give any mathematical expression and you can have the output of this to this one. No worry about that, because this is same like a normal C programming where it is entirely into graphical, and a user or a programmer can develop anything from out of this which can be developed using C. Fine, well, now I just give iteration of 100 times and just run this one. So you can see a block, that means it just runs it. So why not it is working for n number of times, because it's only running for 100 times, and usually a program takes 1 millisecond to execute a single line of code. Nearly it's 1 millisecond. So 1 millisecond is nothing but a blink of eye will be of 1 second. Just imagine 1,000 milliseconds is equal to 1 second. That means we can't just stop the programming like that. So what I do is I just give for 10,000 times and just run this one. You can see that it's moving as fast as. What I do is I just want to increase this one to 5 lakhs times, or you can see here some delays being. So what is happening actually? So it's only waiting for that period of time and just getting out of it. That means just going into the loop and then coming out, going loop, coming out, going out. Just I want to stop this one for 500 milliseconds for every one iteration on one loop. Then what I do is go for timings and just wait. That means I just give a delay to it. So for that I just create a constant of 200. It will be acceptable one. Okay, no problem. It's 200 milliseconds. Fine. And I just run it. It's working. And it is somewhat called as number into 200 will be giving the number of iterations or the time it will be waiting for me to get out of that loop. Fine guys, this is what about Perl. So now let's go to case. Case structure is very interesting, and I already told you can utilize the if loop. You can have a new if loop in the lab view. So how we can get if loop? So that is hidden in the case structure again. So what is if loop? If the statement is true, then it will be executed, or else will be executing the other one. So the case structure will be doing the same. Just click on the case structure and you can draw a case structure over. If at all you want to change the program code, you can change it, no problem. Whatever the thing you want, you can do it. And what I do is I just take these inputs out of my case structure and also the indicator out of my case structure. Just Control P for removing all the broken wires. So now what I have to do is have to just give a condition to it. Always I told you there should be a condition or else it won't work. And the condition will be a control for me, no problem. You can take anything. So true or false, because if true, then my addition will be done. So if false, what it should be done? So for that, you have to go here, click on this arrow, and you will be getting a false statement. So for the false statement also, you have to give some condition, or else you will be having errors still. So go to numeric and just click. I just want to take subtract from here and just add up here. Just you have to connect these things. Don't take any other inputs or new inputs. You just have to connect these things to the subtract here. So now you can see that there are no errors, and I just run it continuously, and I can see that 9 minus 6 is 3, and it states that it is in the false condition, because the false condition here I have already stated that it is. And if I just click this one, you can see my output is 15 now. That means 9 plus 6. So if I just stop this one, you can see true and false cases are working. That means if my condition is true, then it is adding it. If my condition is false, then it is subtract. So here comes our if loop. Now done with the if loop. Now taking the same example, we will just do a small change to this one and just add another more statement to it. What I do is I just take a string constant from strings, and I take an indicator here, string and string indicator. So for making this into many cases, I need an drop down box. So for the drop down box, we need to go to strings, and again we have an option called combo box here. So you take the combo box, place it over here, and combo box to be out, and also string indicator also to be. So what I do is I just change this true statement to 1 and the false statement to 2. I need to add another more statement. For that I just right click and I have an option called add after case. So click on that and you can add 3 here. So I have 3 cases. So in this I have to make one case as default. So for that what I do is I just right click on one and make this the default case. I click on this one, so it will make me this as default case. You can see here 1, 2 and 3. You have 3 cases. So for that I will just copy the string constant in every case. So what I do is I just connect these cases to the indicator. So this string constants to the indicator. I have connected the string constants to the indicator. So I have to fill something into these string constants so that I can print those strings onto my indicator. So what I do is I just add some string into it. I have given lab in one and circuit into and electronics. And so what I do is I have to add cases here. So for that, in the combo box I need to right click on this and just go for edit item, and in the edit items just click on insert, and you can add any item like whatever you have added here in the case structure all. So I have added 1, I have added 2 and I have added 3. So I have 3 cases and click on OK. This will make you the case structure complete. So now just I will run this program. Let's see what happens. I've ran this program. So in the default case I had 1, so in the 1 I had lab. So for that my lab has got printing here. So 1 if I press slab, so 2 if I click circuit, and 3 if I click electronics. So this makes the case structure complete. Thanks for watching my video. Do subscribe and like my video.